Welcome to the Neon Pocket Dimension. A strange and lovely reality where everything nerdy exists in harmony. This week, we're back from vacation. Sorry, I haven't heard these grooves in a while. I gotta jam out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. It's Neon Pocket Dimension, and my name is Gage, aka Luke Shot First, and happy to be back with y'all in the virtual studio, in the virtual dimension that is the Neon Pocket Dimension. We're back from some summer adventures, some summer woes, all of the above, but I'm happy to be back with my co-hosts. We got the Dungeon Master himself, the Producer Supreme, Jacob Jones, back from Puerto Vallarta. What's up, dude?
Whoa, Blossom. I'm back on the podcast.
Yeah, dude. And with the is that a pink elephant? What's going on your head there, Miguel? It's Miguel, Box aka Boxcar Miguel. Yep, just like that.
Oh, we're taxing the mini PC.
Tax on the mini PC. It's quite all right. What's on your head though? Is that a pink elephant? Is that what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna go with yeah.
Yeah, I think he's dying. I think his computer's dying in real time.
He drank too much absinthe, and now he's seeing the pink elephants.
It's a delirium tremens elephant hat.
Exactly. That's what
I have one here too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then in lieu of a pixelated, glitched out Miguel, we also have the singer, bro. What's up, dude?
I'm just laughing at Miguel. This is hilarious. No, I'm pretty good. I'm on the up and up. Been sick, but I'm on.
You're on the mend, as they say.
On the mend, yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, I missed all. Woo! Holy shit! I've missed all of you, and I'm not ready for the audio cues. It's been a couple of weeks, but this is Neon Pocket Dimension. If you didn't know, we are streamed Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific time, right here on Twitch.tv/Neon Pocket Dimension. It's been a couple of weeks. We've been on some vacay. Schedule's been shifting around, all that kind of stuff. But we're happy to be back. And if you miss us live tonight here on the Twitch channel, you can check it out on YouTube on Fridays, where it posts as a YouTube video and podcast services around the world. And if you like any of the content, give us a like, subscribe. We got just so many videos up over there on the channel, so please do check them out. And lastly, we've been wanting to stress, for any upcoming weeks and topics, right into neonpocketdimension@gmail.com with your questions, comments, concerns, or topic suggestions, whatever you like, and we'll feature your write-in on the show. So give us a shout. Tonight we're going to be talking, kind of catching up on some vacay stories, some goodness like that. We've all been out. Ooh, I like that little peachy color scheme we got going on. But yeah, we're going to catch up on some stories, but we've also been out for quite some time. So we all have some WYBNOOing to do. So without further ado, I think we jump right in. Jacob, you want to hit us with a lengthy looking WYBNOO, judging by the document?
Yeah, I have a lot to say, but there is one other thing we have to do really quick, and we have to listen to the WYBNOO jingle. Don't forget about the WYBNOO jingle. Thanks again to, Mr. Steven over here for providing the vocals. But without further ado, here it is.
It's that time of the week for the nerds and the geeks. WYBNOO. What you been nerding out on? It's been a week, 7 days, and we got much to say. So take it away, no further delay.
I guess I could have timed the background to fade in at the end there. So, just got to think about it in the future.
Yeah, we'll work. It's all good. I got a video that'll eventually be done when I'm not so busy in a second here.
I know we're all just coming back.
Catching up from vacay, and my work's like, hey, by the way, you're on vacation. Here's a fuck ton of shit to do.
Yeah. Same here.
Classic.
Yeah.
But that video's got some progress, so it just needs some editing. So I'll make it.
That's good.
Make it happen. Yeah. But yes, it's the WYBNOO. That stands for What You've Been Nerding Out On. we've all been away for a while, so we've got some stuff to catch up on. Although, different kinds of things in different places. So yeah, what you been up to, Jacob?
I was gonna queue up like some pictures, but I didn't, so I'm just gonna talk. So first
Please.
of all, played a lot of video games. Visions of Mana, excellent game, loving it. Y'all knew that I was excited for this game, and I've been playing it. I just got past chapter 3, several hours in, and there's like a massive plot twist I didn't expect. So, I just thought it'd be like straightforward, like, oh, we're just going to the mana tree, but some shit happens and it's like, oh, damn, it's getting wild. So, beyond like the actual gameplay being just fun, because it's sort of like a collectathon, like a little bit, which is
Nice.
fun. Like, kind of like there's some platforming going on, kind of, you got to pick up like these like this syrup stuff that you can use to like as a currency, and then you're finding like treasure chests in all the levels, and there's enemies
Nice.
everywhere, and all sorts of crazy shit going on. But
And it's not turn-based, right? It's semi-live action, right?
yeah, it's an action RPG. So when you get in
Cool.
combat, like you'll see like a group of enemies and you attack them, and then that becomes like the little combat zone. You're sort of like in a little fighting arena. And then you just like wail on the enemies, and you could swap between characters at any time during combat. And
Cool.
of course, I'm playing it on hard. I probably shouldn't be, because like, enemies hit really hard, and I feel like that's really just the only difference is they have more health and just do more damage. So it's like, what's the point? But I'm just gonna keep at it. We'll see in the hard, on the hard front. But the game itself's fun. Like the combat's great. It's like diverse. Like you can give your characters different like elemental vessels that'll change their class, and so you can mix it up however you want. And as you do that, you get more abilities from those elemental vessels and stuff. Like there's like a little bit of a skill tree going on, so it's fun. Like, but I like, as a person who liked Secret of Mana and Legend of Mana, there's a lot of references to those games, and it's really scratching an itch for me. And it's just a joy. It's colorful, it's fun, everyone's happy. Even when sad stuff's happening, they're still like, it's, I don't know, it's like upbeat, and I'm used to playing
totally.
like Elden Ring, where everything is so dour and like post-apocalyptic, So great game. I like it a lot. I know it's not for everyone, but if you're just looking for like a fun RPG to play, like that's not turn-based, I recommend it. I tried out Age of Mythology. Cool ass game. It's basically a remake of the original one from like the late 90s. It plays very similarly. They just kind of modernize the controls. The graphics look great. The game plays well. It's an RTS, so it's like, hitting those notes. Definitely play it if you have Game Pass.
The god powers are cool.
The god powers are really cool. I only did the first 4 missions of the first campaign, which I think is the Greek people. But like it already tested me on that 3rd mission to get my ass moving and getting things like built like simultaneously. So I was like, ooh, yeah, let's go. Make me sweat.
Nice.
On that regular difficulty.
Yeah.
Today, I think as of yesterday, Elder Scrolls Castles came out for mobile. So I've been playing that. I think I got to like level 19, my castle, whatever. It's a lot like Fallout Shelter, but it's, you're a king and it's like fantasy. So I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is the game that I'll play, So I'm enjoying that. Funny story in that game is I unlocked the thing where you can like have people marry each other. And then right after that, you unlock like a bed so you can have people fuck and have a kid like immediately, right? And so then I just was like, oh, I'll have my king like have sex with this like random person. And then it turned out that I had married that person to someone else. So then that person came to me as the king for like a decision, saying like, oh, my wife is being, is cheating on me. And one of the choices like kick her out, or like fine her, or like say like, yo, chill, and she's fine. And I was like, oh, I fucked his wife. All right, she's fine. Don't worry about it. So I thought that was really funny.
That's great.
Pretty
Nice.
hilarious.
Everything's fine.
It was an
here,
accident.
Don't worry about it.
It was an accident. I forgot she was already married.
Sure it was.
You gotta
If only,
click.
Accident.
if only you could say like, no, this is one of the 9 divines that got her pregnant. It's immaculate conception.
Yeah.
Akatosh.
We could just-
Your scene got up in there last night.
Yeah, we could just pretend like that's what's happening,
Sure.
But yeah, so funny shit there. I should just tapped it one more time, like the person, it would have shown who they're married to. So funny game.
Tapped it one more time.
Definitely
Cool.
worth. I recommend it if you have, everybody has a phone. It's free. Just throw it on, try it out.
I downloaded it. I haven't started it yet.
Just try it. All right. I think you'll like it.
I think so too.
Same kind of shit as Fallout Shelter. Just instead of building down, you're building up because it's a castle.
Yep.
Oh shit, building up. Sign me up, dude.
Up, dog.
Yeah, man.
To the heavens. We did an official Neon Gaming Dimension stream last Friday for the Black Ops 6 beta. So I was joined by Arturotron Robo Bartender, something I can't ever say because it's like, what the fuck, bro? Average Joe on Air, Neo Aoshi, Pandafin, Neo Aoshi's buddy Wiggles, who was carrying us, and the Zachalak. So they all joined in and out. We all played a bunch of Black Ops 6 beta, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to the official release, which is pretty soon. Definitely recommend that you play it when it comes out officially on Game Pass. Another Game Pass. A lot of these are Game Pass, obviously. I played Star Trekker. Amazing. Did 3 deliveries. It's really cool, really interesting, very immersive. Okay, you're a trucker in space, like literally. Let's see. Oh, but the graphics, there's a little bit of slowdown, which makes no sense. I think it's an indie game, so it probably just needs a little optimization. But great game. I played Everspace 2, which I finally played some of. That game's fun. Expeditions is another Game Pass game that came out that's really interesting. I was doing the tutorial, but I kept driving past the points of the tutorial, and so I had to keep driving back, because I was going ahead without doing the thing it wanted me to do.
So it's like Forza Horizon, where you stop at the things you need to do and start an objective or whatever.
Well, yeah. Basically, it was take out your fucking drone and fly around the area. So I did that, but I didn't do the whole thing, and then I drove to where I thought the next part was, but then I had to go back to that thing, right? So that kept happening, and then I ended up getting stuck in the mud. So I have to go back and redo that level.
How are the physics in that game? Is it like the other Mud Runner?
Yeah.
Where it's awesome.
It's really intense. You can change the tire pressure and the way that the gears are, turn on and off 4-wheel drive. You can set it into different drives and stuff. It's very intuitive and interesting, but it's complicated. And yeah, it is a physics game through and through. And you can end up in a river too deep, and it's telling you, oh, you're too deep, bro. You could use echolocation in the water to see how deep the water is in front of you. It's interesting. Definitely check that out. I beat the first Doom chapter from the original Doom. First time in my whole life.
Whoa,
really? It's the shareware version of Doom, that first suite of levels. Never beat that in my life. I finally did the other day. That was cool.
That's cool.
I beat 2 red decks and 1 blue deck in my 2 copies of Balatro. Okay.
Kicking, dude.
All right.
Now you're kicking.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm pokering because I bought it on the Switch for my trip. I also bought Metroid Prime, which is fucking fun as fuck. Really enjoying that.
Amazing game.
Played Deadlock. Deadlock is sick. I can send an invite. I think I already sent one to.
That's the new Valve game, right? The new, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I think the beta is just ongoing, because they just keep testing it. So let's definitely jump in and play. It's like a MOBA, but it's also a first-person shooter.
I was wondering, is it a battle royale? No, it's a MOBA. That's cool. It's
definitely a MOBA, and that's what I'm talking about. Love that shit.
Nice.
I watched 9 horror movies. And I'll give you a quick lowdown of those real fast. So I'm already starting
spooky season early, yeah.
I am, yeah. Well, I figured I could start by wrangling up the good ones early, so I'm not scrambling during the month, and then watching the ones that are bad or I know Joy definitely won't watch. So I watched When Evil Lurks, gave it a 7. Terrifier 1, gave it a 6. Hostel Part 2, gave it a 6. Dracula 2000 sucks, gave it a 3.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah,
that it does.
Saw X, gave it a 7. It's one of the best Saw movies. What's that, Miguel?
Said I could have told you that.
Yeah. I watched Smile. It was actually better than I figured, so I give it a 6. All Hallows Eve, I give a 4 because it is just bad, but it's good because it's bad.
Nice.
ABCs of Death, I give a 5. Can't really recommend it because it's like it's like a lot of bad, but there's some really good anthology like short films in there. Tourist Trap is a 3. It's not good, but it's still fun. I watched a Joe Bob of that one, and the same thing with Basket Case. I watched the Joe Bob episode, and I give that a 6. Basket Case is fucking sick. If you've never seen Basket Case, definitely watch it. It's ridiculous. And then of course today I just watched The Exorcist again because I want to watch Exorcist 2 and 3. And I give that movie a 9. It's a timeless classic horror film. It's just so fucking amazing. And then what's the last thing I have here? Oh, and then we watched Coherence the other day, a couple days ago, and that's a low budget indie sci-fi movie that everyone needs to watch. I think it's great. It's a great example of what you could do in a small space with a small budget and a limited amount of actors and still succeed. The example I gave was Reservoir Dogs. Obviously, that movie's way better, but still, same kind of idea. And then Gundam update, final piece. I'm on episode 667 of One Piece. So there you go, done.
Jesus,
we're back.
That was epic, dude. That was a serious WYBNOO.
Fuck.
Yeah, cool. I caught a bit of your stream when you guys were clicking heads the other day. That was pretty sweet.
Hell yeah.
Black Ops looks kind of fun. Not gonna lie, it's kind of fun. It's intriguing to me a little bit. Deadlock. I've also been seeing good stuff about. So maybe.
It's good. You need a PC.
I'm excited. I know it's true, and I'm excited for spooky season. So you going through there. That's pretty fun. I got some spookies queued up as well. So, anyways,
sweet.
Steven, how about you? What you been doing now?
So I'll start with the games, then I'll move into what I actually watched. Played Core Keeper, which I think would be a fun one for us to play together. It's survival, crafting, roguelike kind of stuff, and you fight bosses. It's like Terraria and Minecraft had a baby.
Okay.
With a little bit of Stardew Valley in there too. So it's that kind of game. It's go out, mine a bunch of stuff. I like SteamWorld Dig style, right? And fight things and bring back resources and build your base up and you can build railway systems and computer systems and complex things. And I've not gotten that far into it. I'm just I got a simple ass base with I focus more on the armor and shit, progressing the armor up to iron and things like that.
Are you working with swords and medieval kind of stuff?
Yeah. So you can do they've got a bunch of different weapons in the game, but my favorite one right now is a sledgehammer.
Nice.
And because the sledgehammer can double as a mining thing, and there's a 3x3 block of mining, so it just crushes through stuff, and it's just satisfying. The bosses have some unique mechanics so far. There's one that wanders around the entire area, and you have to I assume somehow catch up to it or stop it somehow. There's one I beat at the very beginning. It was just slamming around. It's a giant slime, and slime makes you slow, so you gotta kind of work around that so it doesn't crush you. Mm-hmm. Right there, what you're seeing is the different things to light up, the core, which is you basically get transported to another dimension at the beginning of the game, and you got to try to power up this machine. So, cool. And it's co-op, right? Apparently, it's a lot more fun in co-op than it is single player. But yeah, that's the slime blob I was talking about.
Wow, cool. It's kind of creepy. I like it.
It does. There is a tense atmosphere, and it does get difficult in certain points. So, I must have played for 10 hours solid on the day I played it.
I dig it. I like it a lot.
It's very good. I don't know if it's still in early access or not. I think it might be.
Yeah, it is.
But it's pretty feature complete, I would say. They probably are going to add more things to it as it goes on, but it's a solid, polished game. And I think we should try it out.
That's awesome. Yeah. I really like the art style.
Next, I have Knock on the Coffin. Now this one is kind of cool because it's like you're doing battles like Slay the Spire, and you have deck building that way. You also have equipment as well, but then you have every time you die, like Hades, they have a new story element for you in your like base of operations. And what happens is like you and your brother are on a war campaign, and somebody poisons the wine for everybody, and so they die, and you're trying to figure out who poisoned the wine, right? And get revenge and basically avenge your family there. But like you get resurrected by this dude, I guess a necromancer, right? And you keep coming back, right, to fight against people that he wants you to fight against too, right? Because you're both going towards like a common goal, I guess, to get the country or whatever back. But
Cool.
very solid game. I want to play more of it. But yeah, it's like you can see, like you're doing different attacks. It's very Slay the Spire esque. So I can't wait to. It's like fully voiced. Like I was gonna say that there's everything in there. Almost every line I think is voiced by someone. So give it a try if you even remotely like a deck builder or roguelike. Like it's
the art style is
solid.
great. It's awesome.
It's solid, yeah. I think you would like that if you like Slay the Spire. So, what else? Oh, Star Wars
cool.
Outlaws, and I'll talk a lot about more of this on our recording of Neon Topic, which we're going to do. We're going to record tomorrow. So keep your eyes on NGD for that. Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws. A lot of people. It's got what, high 70s, right? 78 or something like that.
Yep. It's been pretty like up and down, mixed reviews, but yeah.
Yeah. It really depends on what you want from the game, right? Like if you want to be immersed in Star Wars, I feel like it's for you. Like if you want to go and you want to see the Star Wars things, you want to play some Sabacc, which is fucking great.
Nice.
You want to be a smuggler, outlaw, and have death marks on you and talk to droids and hack and slice a lot of terminals and have Nyx, the companion, basically do everything for you. It's kind of weird, but like, but they're cute. You're a little I forget what they're called, but they're a little creature guy. They help you out, and honestly, the ship battles were better than better than I thought they would be. Right?
Nice.
They play out. I would say almost as good as Battlefront, if not better in some ways.
That's
because the lock on. There's a lock on system, right? Like, so you're not like searching forever to chase a ship if you want. And you can make it as hard as you want, obviously. But I'm just playing on story because I knew it had a stealth mechanics in it. So like, I don't know. They've fixed that now. Like, there were some early missions. There's a lot of auto fails that can happen, and like you start over the stealth missions, which is, yeah, that's the only like downside I could say. But they patched that, I think, just barely. So
wow.
Yeah, a lot of
Glitch
videos.
Yes. I had one. It was in a story cutscene even. And I'm on Tatooine. I'm walking into the thing as someone's talking to me. They don't go inside except for like a little bit after the scene starts, and they're talking to me. They're supposed to be sitting at a desk, but they're behind me, like over here. Just staring at me, not talking or anything. The lips aren't moving or anything. They're just staring at me, my character from behind. And then as they're supposed to be at the desk talking to me. So there's just weird stuff like that. I haven't had any other issues with the game for as far as bugs go. Runs pretty good.
Yeah, it's weird. I've just seen footage of it looking like phenomenal and gorgeous, and then other footage of it looking super janky and weird.
It's so weird because sometimes like wow, this game is so fucking breathtaking. Like in that part right there, like especially in the open world parts where you're just like riding on your speeder. It's just
Taking in the
beautiful.
vistas. Yeah.
Yeah, even in space, like it's not just darkness everywhere, right? Like there's stuff that fills the space, like wreckage here, and like nebula, like a smoky nebula somewhere. And I would say art direction is fucking top notch in this game. Like, you want to see some cool Star Wars shit? Play the game. You'd pay $20 or whatever. I would say play it. But yeah, other than that, I will rewatch Jurassic Park. I plan to watch through like all of the Jurassic movies with my girlfriend.
Oh shit!
Can't go wrong.
That's gonna be a good time. That's like her favorite movie. Jurassic Park, so.
I was gonna say, once you get to the later ones, they're not so great.
Well, I'm sure, I'll have some popcorn. I'll enjoy them.
I mean, they're still enjoyable to watch. But,
yeah, I'm sure it won't be as good, quite as good, but yeah.
And I actually really like. I really like 3. Actually, I actually really like Jurassic Park 3 for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, three is definitely better than
like
2.
3.
Three is definitely better than 2, and
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 are all better than any of the world ones. For sure,
that.
they're all.
I think that's
garbage.
the consensus. Yeah.
Garbaggio.
World is okay, I guess, but I never got behind the raptor. You can tame a raptor thing,
Yeah, I guess it had fun parts.
it just depends on what you're going in there for. If you want it's going to be like some serious movie, and then you also have to think you probably saw that when you were a kid, so you thought it was really fucking awesome.
Well, and then
it's like
watching Jurassic Park, it's like dino DNA, and when they're explaining like the sequencing, that they filled it with frog DNA, I'm just like, I fucking bought this shit as a kid. I was in. I was like, fuck yeah, they did. That's so cool.
It seemed real.
Yeah.
If anyone has an Oculus or what do they call it, a MetaQuest, there's a Jurassic Park just like experience you can download. And it's pretty cool. There's like 3 different little vignettes, and they're pretty much just like interactive movies, but you just walk like through a section of the park or a section, and like one of them's like some long-necked dinosaur. It's not a brachiosaurus, but it kind of looks like that. And it just kind of comes up to you and like comes right up to the camera. And then there's one where there's a raptor, and then the volcano explodes from Jurassic World, and the raptor runs off. And then there's another one with a big T-Rex, and it's pretty mind-blowing in Oculus. So yeah.
Take a look at me. What am I?
And they're like, okay, we took the power of 3D to zoom in on the DNA to find the missing pieces. I was like, fucking hell, dude. There's just some stuff that's funny as you rewatch that back. You never see the embryo canister, the thermos or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You never see that again, to my knowledge. So,
yeah, and then you forget that like the whole like Newman plotline and Samuel L. Jackson and everything in that movie. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot about you.
Well, once he's dead, I don't think it matters at that point. He's dead, and they just kind of move on. They just kind of like that part of the story is done.
Yeah,
he gets what he deserves, basically.
It's true.
Exactly.
What I thought was funny, my girlfriend, she pointed out to me like the part where they were controlling the raptor, and they had to keep it stable, so you see the hand in the background of the dude like pushing down on the tail of the raptor when they're like trying to chase the kids in the kitchen. She pointed that out to me, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's fun.
Yeah, you can like see the special effects.
Well, like, yeah, you see the hand of someone pushing down on, like...
You actually see...
Yeah, you see the hand.
Jones, where you see the guy's hat on just like a little... He's not in the scene because they refilmed it later. And he's just... Yeah. It's a hat on a stick. And if you don't know it, once you see it, you'll never not see it, essentially.
True. Yeah. It's like
I had never seen that
FedEx
before,
logo.
Right?
Well, it's just
You're
like
focused on the raptor face, right? So
it's like in Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope, the first Star Wars movie, when like the stormtrooper hits his head on the fucking door. I never noticed it my entire life until I saw a YouTube video that said that.
I always
and then I'm like, now I always see that motherfucking stormtrooper's like bonk, and it even makes a noise. Like, it's hilarious.
It does.
Oh. So good.
Love that shit.
I love the weird little idiosyncrasies. It's good.
I love that shit though. Like when someone points that out to me, it makes the movies a little more special, I think.
Yeah.
Totally.
Now they're all so polished. I feel like you rarely see that stuff nowadays, except for the Starbucks in
Game of Thrones.
fucking Game of Thrones.
They can edit that shit out now. But
yeah.
I was just watching The Exorcist today, and there's a scene where she's like levitating. Linda Blair's levitating from the side, and like she's just levitating. But if you look very closely on her shadow, like by her leg, you could see like the shadow of like something, right? And it's literally like the thing that she's on, like coming out of the wall, and you could see the shadow of it behind her a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's obviously like she's being lifted by like something. But the harness like fucked up her back, like, because
she had such an experience on that movie. It's so wild.
Yeah, they abused the shit out of her, dude. Like honestly, but I mean, to amazing effect, but still.
Yeah. If you guys haven't watched there's a documentary on Disney Plus. I think it's just called Light and Magic, but it's about ILM and like the whole beginning of it with the first 3 Star Wars movies, but then they get into a bunch of the other movies that they work on, including maybe The Exorcist. I know they did some stuff for some horror movies, like as far as some special effects and stuff.
Yeah, not sure.
But yeah, but they're amazing documentaries. You should watch it for sure.
Nice.
It's all about
and then
OG special effects and how they do it.
I watched most of the first season of Outlast, which is like a survivalist TV show, where they have like a couple different groups try to survive out in Alaska, and just people just doing some fucked up things to win $1 million to each other in different groups. So,
Whoa, cool.
I've yet to watch the finale of that, but I think it's a good time. It's a good time. To watch, like watching the crazy stuff that can happen to people, like I don't know, not going to the restroom for so long that can do something, right?
Yikes.
Like, yeah, and just like having something like catching fish be such a huge deal, right? Yeah, you don't want that when you're out in the wilderness.
You win. Perfect.
Yeah, good stuff. That would be it for my WYBNOO.
Wow, right on.
Who's the man?
I was sick.
You're the man.
I was sick with the flu, and I have sinus infection. So sorry if you guys can hear that. So.
All right. Yeah, it sounds like your sickness blew chunks. So I'm sorry about that. Miguel, why don't you jump in?
As always, I don't write anything down, but I did get this really cool hat, right?
Delirium.
I went to,
We went
to Belgian Week.
It's one of my favorite beers.
You got a really cool hat. That doesn't really fit very well because I feel like it's for a child, but they were giving them to adults, so it's all good. And then I went back to said bar that same week for Flanders night, which was really fun. Honestly, I really did.
Flanders from The Simpsons.
What's that?
It's Ned Flanders.
Beer. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a style of beer.
Mm-hmm. Probably
it's almost like a sour, but not. It's a red ale.
Is it from Flanders in France? Maybe.
No, I think it's from Belgium.
That makes sense. It makes sense.
Because it was Belgium week.
Belgium.
We have to look that up. I don't really know, to be honest with you. But
I mean,
so
maybe Flanders is in Belgium, but it's like right on that French border right there. I don't know. Yeah.
So you'd have to look that up. But so I did that. What else did I do? I watched recently. Well, let's get to the games. I only played two. I played 2 games since I finally beat Mass Effect 2.
Nice.
Got to my playthrough on that. I got the platinum, but
Great job.
when I went to go to do the final mission, I fucked it up and I didn't save. Right, so I had to redo and my last save was maybe 6 hours worth of gameplay. So I had to go back and do it. And then I did it again and I fucked up again.
Oh no!
And I had to do it again, so I had to do it 3 fucking times. I was really annoyed, but at the same time, I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it and get it done." So I finally beat that. I was happy. I got a text today from a buddy of mine. Apparently, Billie Eilish's mom was Samara.
What?
Whoa!
Too.
What
Yeah,
the
I didn't
fuck?
know she voiced Samara. I don't know how true it is. I didn't look it up. I didn't verify. That's what I was told.
Huh.
So I was like, "Oh, that's pretty interesting," because I didn't fucking know that.
The more you know.
So yeah, exactly.
What?
Today I learned.
What?
Look at that. I didn't know that. Shit. But and then I started playing Mystic Pillars.
Hmm.
So I guess it's a remaster. I never heard of the game before. It's on PS Plus right now. It's just a puzzle game. It's pretty straightforward. There's a bunch of gems on pillars, and there's essentially a pattern that you have to find in a book. And like it'll say like 3 go here, 5 go here, and you have to basically move them. And the only thing you need to know is 1 gem per pillar will move. So if you want to move 3 pillars, you need 3 gems. And there's like a story to it. It's voice acted. The cutscenes are at least. It's pretty fun. I think I'm about halfway through it. I think there's only like 100 puzzles. I think I'm on puzzle 60 or 57 or something like that.
Sweet.
It's something easy to play that I don't really have to think about too much, even though it's frustrating as fuck because it's frustrating sometimes. But I'm having a good time with that. I do like the art. The story is interesting. But overall, so I've been doing that. If you're into puzzle games like this, like obviously this is the whole game you're watching.
Yeah, totally.
But give it a try. It's fun.
It reminds me a little
Not
bit of
much
like a Monument Valley or something like that.
Yeah,
it's cool.
kind of.
Yeah, not as nice. I like Monument Valley a lot. That game is awesome.
Totally. Yeah, it is.
Like the art direction and everything, but
They're
this
making
game's it's something to pass the time.
they're making a
before,
third Monument Valley, Miguel.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Ken Wong's a good artist too. He's the art director, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, nice.
So I'm kind of playing that while I cleanse my palate and decide what the fuck I'm going to play next. I'm not doing Mass Effect 3 yet. I'm going to wait a while like I did last time. I could put in Elden Ring. We'll see if I put in Elden Ring. I've got Catherine full bodied, which has been left to me for like ages. But I need to.
It's a great game.
Finish.
You've had that game forever.
Which one, Elden Ring or Catherern?
Well, both of them, really.
I've seen Catherine full body on his like table for like years.
Yeah, it hasn't been years. It's probably been about a year and a half, maybe.
Nice.
But yeah, I got to play through that, and then I have.
It's a great game.
I was given Persona 5, which is still wrapped. I have what is it? That one collection that the Limited Game Company does. Forget the name of that company.
Limited Run.
Limited Run games. I have the Castlevania Limited Run games that they put out recently that was given to me, so I have that to play. There's a lot of stuff. There's options. I don't know what I'm going to play yet, though, so I haven't decided. So this is my in-between game. I'll get to something at some point.
Yeah.
And then we planned a trip to Mexico, so we're going to Mexico for Thanksgiving. The week of Thanksgiving, I'll be in Mexico, so that'll be fun.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Sweet.
We're going to San Diego this weekend, which will be fun too.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a good time. And then we saw Mariachi Vargas last night, which is like the gold standard of mariachi. They're the best mariachi group in the world. Over at the Smith Center.
Wow.
Sadie was really excited. She wanted to go, so we went. We took a friend, and it's really when you listen to the. I mean, mariachis are talented, but I didn't realize how talented they were. Because I mean, everyone has to sing, and they all sing well, and they play an instrument at the same time. You know, like it was pretty cool to see them live. So,
nice.
Polly Pocket wants to go again in October. I don't know if that's happening. I'm not going to Bakersfield. I don't think, or November. I'm sorry. I can't take the time off. Yes, it's part of UNESCO. But anyway, so Mariachi Vargas, and then I watched The Watchers. I think it's that the newest M. Night Shyamalan movie that's on Max right now. It's pretty good.
Nice.
There's really no twist in that movie. It's kind of like if you liked what was the name of the one with the fucking the apartment complex? Why can't I remember the name of this movie right now?
Oh, yeah. Fucking oh my god, the one with the mermaid.
Yeah, yes. I don't remember the goddamn name of it.
I forget.
Right? So it's kind of like that. I won't give away what it is, but it is what it is, and you take it for what it is. There's no twist, in my opinion. Well, there's a twist, but it's not really a twist.
Lady in the Water.
If you want, Lady in the Water. Thank you. I was going to say Something in the Water, but I didn't want to talk about the other movie, Guillermo del Toro movie, where there's fish fucking.
Right.
Ah, yes.
Not to be confused with the fish.
Not to be confused with Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. There it is.
Yeah. If you like Lady in the Water, as far as M. Night Shyamalan movies go, this one was pretty good.
Okay.
I was entertained. Like, honestly, like I go into his movies at this point, like I don't care. I'll just watch them for what they are.
Yeah.
As long as they're not as bad as The Happening, then I'm happy.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes, dude.
That's like his worst fucking movie, dude.
I still haven't played down because
is that a Transformer?
I still haven't seen. I still haven't seen The Happening.
You gotta watch it. It's really bad, but you gotta watch it.
Maybe we can do a riff track of that.
I would say,
dude.
Just watch it once and then move on.
I would do a riff tracks of that movie with you.
Okay, yeah, maybe
we could do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That would be fun.
Just put out a video of us like, sitting there and like watching it, making fun of it, and then people can like put the movie on in the back, in the background next to us.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So I watched that. I tried
Ted,
watching
your weed's super crazy, man. The plants are trying to kill me.
Does no one care about the bees? What about the bees?
What about the motherfucking bees?
I don't know anything about the bees yet, man. I can't wait.
It's a good movie.
We can do that in October because that's technically a horror movie, right?
That sounds great. That sounds
that'd be great. Okay,
so
we'll do that next month.
True, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that next month.
So yeah, The Watchers. We'll give that a watch if you're interested. I enjoyed it. I had a fun time with it. I tried watching the last Ghostbusters movie, Frozen Empire.
Yeah,
and I kept falling asleep. It's on par with the one before it. Like I don't know if there's any bad like CG dead people in it, but it is what it is. Are they terrible movies? I would say no. They take them for what they are. They're not great.
Does Paul Rudd steal the show again? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember watching the last one before that. You know what I mean? Like that's how I don't know. I think I fell asleep. I don't really remember it. So I have to rewatch it, but I feel like I won't like it. Not Frozen Empire, the one before that with the kids.
Yeah.
The one that rebooted it.
Yeah,
It was a sequel.
Yeah, I just don't remember it. I don't remember it.
It was alright, dude. It was okay. Like, was it like a horrible movie? No, but it was okay.
I like the first two.
That. Well, yeah, I mean, classic. But then, I've been watching a lot of Indiana Jones.
Nice.
And when I say I've been watching, it just kind of comes on because it's on TV. So if you have a Samsung TV, a Samsung TV Plus, there's a bunch of channels on there that are just free. I think the channel it's currently on is Pluto. So when I turn the TV on, it's just on Pluto TV, and they're just showing all the Indiana Jones movies except for the fifth one. On like rotation.
Wow.
So once one ends, the next one starts. So every time the TV comes on, Temple of Doom will start. So I've been watching a lot of Indiana Jones, just like in the background. So that's fun.
I want to rewatch them before the game comes out. I want to rewatch the original trilogy at least.
Yeah.
Just watch them all. Even the last one wasn't bad. The fifth one was.
No, it was super depressing. It made me fear death. I'm like, one day I will die. That's what that movie made me feel. Because he's just so fucking old now, and it's like,
yeah.
yikes.
Jacob, I had that epiphany when I was like 8.
No, I'm saying that makes me feel old.
When I
Watching
realized
that,
I was going to eat shit at one point, and people were going to die.
watching that movie made me feel old.
This
Like,
makes
You're
sense.
going to have a hard time with life.
Like, just let Harrison Ford sleep. He needs to
Right?
rest. He's an old
He's
man.
so tired.
No, he wanted to be in that movie, though.
He
Just
really
let him
pushed- he really
sleep.
pushed for that.
He's so tired and
Push through
so
that movie.
old.
He just needs a nappy, you know?
And to be fair, Mutt's not in it, so Shia LaBeouf can go fuck himself, and I
Yeah.
love the way they get rid of him. Right?
Just do
So,
it.
like,
Just
it's. I think that was one of the better parts of that movie that I enjoyed, is the fact that Shia LaBeouf is just not there, and they just kind of like they barely acknowledge it and they move on.
They just retcon that. That's funny.
yeah.
I wish they retconned it, not quite, but there's a reason.
Disgusting.
Aren't I supposed to have a son or something?
But
I can't
There's
fucking
that.
this anymore.
I can't think of any. I'm sure I watched other crappy movies recently. Tried watching a movie called Proximity on what was it? Amazon Prime. It's a bad sci-fi movie. I fell asleep during that too, but I was hungover.
Rough.
So to be fair, I didn't quite finish it. Yeah, it's like an alien movie.
Well, it looks bad.
I put it on.
These pictures look
It wasn't
horrible.
good.
Yeah, it looks awful.
Look at this. Look at this guy. I'm not-
Looks like a
gonna-
bad version of Groot.
I
Yeah.
don't know
Like,
why.
they're trying to make
the other
trying to
stuff,
make the gray scary, you know.
Yeah, I guess. This movie looks bad.
but yeah, I'll end it there. If I think of anything, I'll talk about it next time.
All right.
Nice, hell yeah.
Thank you.
Some good vibe news all around. Well, I'll finish off with mine. I have not played one video game since I saw you guys last.
Like gasp.
I try. I know, kind of crazy. I tried a little bit here and there. Like, you think on a 26-hour plane ride that you're gonna be able to play something, but honestly, like with a kid, it was just entertaining her the whole time. And at any time that she was either entertained enough to not need my attention or sleeping, I just had to sleep because it was like I was so exhausted.
How many layovers did you have? Like,
Well, so we did it in a kind of a weird way, specifically to break it up for her sake. So we went the opposite way. So we flew to Frankfurt, Germany, which was a 9-hour flight, and then it was first we did to Portland to Vancouver, which was like an hour and a half flight, and then Vancouver to Frankfurt, Germany, and then Frankfurt to Chennai, India, which was a 10-hour flight. So it was like 1.5, 9, and 10 hours. And then on the way back, it's like 10, 10, and 2 or something like that. So yeah, it was a lot. It was a serious traveling. And then there was only like a 2-hour layover in Frankfurt, and then there was like almost no layover in Vancouver. So yeah,
that 10-hour ones had to be rough.
the double 10-hour ones with a 18-month-old kid is no joke. The first one she did really well on, like the first of those flights, and then the second one she was just like over it. So it was a lot. So I didn't play any games. I brought my 3DS and I didn't even turn it on. Whatever. And then in India, I was planning on maybe playing some Xbox Cloud, but it's not available in India, so that's kind of a bummer because I bought my controller and then I had the iPad, and I was like, oh, I'll do some of that. But no, not available in India. So that's whatever. And so, so I just didn't end up playing any games. Before I went to India, I played a bit of the most latest Fortnite season. Steven, I saw you were playing some of that too. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like the Captain America shield. That's fun. It's Fortnite, and they're doing all the
Doom
Marvel
shit
stuff.
was like
I'm a gamer.
underwhelming. It's fine. Like, it's supposed to be total Doom, right? Like,
Yeah, totally. I thought so
Castle
too.
Doom, and I don't know.
Some of the locations are cool, but it's kind of whatever. But whatever. It's still fun. It's Fortnite. And yeah, I'll probably jump on and play some more of that casually here and there over the next couple of nights. But so I pretty much just watched a bunch of movies, and then we'll get into vacay stuff because really that's what I've been nerding out on, to be quite honest. But on the plane, I watched Quiet Place Day 1. perfectly serviceable movie. It didn't really like, you figure with a prequel like that, like the day one, like maybe it'll advance some of the lore of the thing and stuff. It didn't. It's just another story of like people needing to be quiet, but they're in the city instead of out in the country or whatever.
Isn't there like monsters or whatever that like respond to the sounds? Or something?
Yeah, and they're in the first two, but the first two were like more post-apocalyptic in a lot of ways, because like this has already happened. So this is like the
There's
first.
only one left, Jacob.
What?
There's only one more left.
Okay.
He's wrapping the story up.
Yeah,
Exactly. The
exactly.
next one.
But this is like when the aliens first arrive. They're aliens. Spoilers. I don't think that's really a spoiler.
No,
One man's too
basically,
much.
I thought that was a given.
I'm pretty sure they show that in all the trailers. Yeah.
Have you not seen the movies, Steven?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
you get the good ones. The first one's good.
Yeah, the first one's good.
The second one's not terrible.
I never saw the second one.
Sequel? No, it doesn't need a sequel, but at the same time, John Krasinski has a thing in his head that he wants to do, so he's doing it. And to be fair, with the prequel, it's not even him.
No,
right?
yeah, he didn't direct it. He produced it, I think, but he didn't direct it.
Right.
Or I don't even think he wrote it.
How about
Yeah.
no, Scott? Okay.
I never realized
So,
how much of a Trump thing Dr. Evil's got going on.
You got a point
You know
there.
what?
You got a point there.
Okay. Scott.
I got the biggest shocks with freaking laser beams on the heads. I got the biggest laser beams.
The biggest.
I just want sharks with freaking laser beams on their head, okay?
Is that too much to freaking ask?
China.
It's showtime.
Yes. Anyways, it was a perfectly serviceable movie. Lupita Nyong'o is really good in it.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's just great in
I'll give
general.
her.
She's good at being freaked out too. So
Yes.
yeah. Deadpool and Wolverine I saw in theaters in India, which was fun. We went on my birthday actually, and I was really pessimistic about this movie. Like I was like being such a hater, and I kind of like checked myself before I went in. I was like, let's just not put any expectations on this movie and let's just see what it was. And I had a really good time. I think it's
just fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would call it like a 6.5 of a movie. Overall, I think the plot is pretty much nonsense. But as far as the fun and the heart and the spirit of poking fun at all of this stuff that we've had fun with for the last 10 years plus, even further if you're going back into the Fox era. I think it was a totally enjoyable ride, and if you can handle Ryan Reynolds, which I know some people can't, I think he was pretty hilarious, and him and Hugh Jackman playing off each other was fun. Although I think
That was a good, yeah.
I think Wolverine was, in my opinion, slightly underutilized, and I kind of realized why they have to do that, because they didn't want to tarnish the Logan stuff so much. You know what I mean? And that, like, they kind of stayed up. Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning of the movie, I'm not going to spoil it, but
But that's more tongue in cheek. I guess I'm more mean like when it actually came to like the heart of
who he is
of this Wolverine, like they pretty much, they used some multiverse shenanigans to make it its own thing, and because of that, I just felt like I didn't really connect, other than the fact that like it's kind of just like saying, hey, we did all the work for you in the other movie, so now just transfer those feelings into this Wolverine. But like they didn't really earn it in the film, I didn't really think, but that's fine. Anywho, but it was it was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think it was also the thing that I think why it worked more for me more than I thought it would is that it really is much more of a Deadpool 3 rather than welcoming Deadpool to the MCU in any sort of way. Like they play with MCU tools, but it's not like the thing that's saving the MCU or finishing the multiverse saga or like it didn't butt its head into the MCU stuff too much. It just like got to play with their references and their characters and things like that. So it worked for me as like finishing the Deadpool trilogy as opposed to like all that other stuff.
Did you watch the post credits stuff?
Like the documentary stuff, I couldn't tell if they were like I couldn't tell if they were like being jokingly
No, that was
sentimental.
that was just actual sentiment, I think.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. So no, we kind of didn't because we had dinner reservations that we had to get to, and India's kind of chaotic as far as getting taxis and shit. So we were like, we should probably leave before this theater all goes out onto the street and needs a taxi. So we bailed, and I was like, I'll watch it online if there's some like reveal afterwards. And then I looked it up, and it whatever. So
the Chris Evans thing, did you see that? Yeah. Okay. That's all I needed to know.
There you go. Excellent. At this point, I'm so like not invested in the MCU that I'm like, nothing's really spoiling anything for me at this point. You know what I mean?
Same.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for me,
if people hit me,
every reveal was spoiled before I watched a movie, which sort of ruined the movie for me. Which fucking sucks. Like, and it was spoiled in different places at different times. But I thought it was funny. I laughed like the whole time. You know what I mean? But
exactly. It's just laugh out loud.
I didn't love it. You know what I mean? Like, I still think Deadpool 1 is the best Deadpool because it was the most raw. And like, I feel like every Deadpool after that has become more of a parody of itself. Totally. And then now you're, bringing in all this MCU nonsense with the multiverse shit. But all the Wolverine stuff was fun. But again, all of it was spoiled for me, which ruined it. Fucking sucked. But spoiler alert, Channing Tatum's character did survive canonically in the MCU. That's official. I'm not going to say which character that is.
But if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. But that was fun. That was fun seeing it in India. And then the next thing I have on my WYBNOO is an experience that I think everyone, if they can get a chance to do, they should. Which is, I went and saw this movie called The Greatest of All Time, which was a Vijay movie. Vijay is like, he's a famous actor. He's about to enter politics. He's like a famous hero actor in Collywood, not Bollywood. Collywood is the Southern Indian movie scene, and he is like a legend as far as like people don't quite realize that like famous actors in this culture are more like they're just their actor is treated like the superhero themselves. So like just them showing up in a movie or like certain cameo actors that were in this movie, it was like the MCU-ness of it all, right? So like there's they brought in actors as cameos in this movie. They like CG'd like a dead actor in this movie, and like when they show up on stream, it's like the first time R2-D2 shows up in episode 1, right? Like it's the whole movie theater's on their feet, cheering, yelling, like whistling. I went and saw it day 1, show 1, which means like the whole movie theater is just showing this movie. It was craziness. There was like drums and a parade outside. There's like pictures of this guy everywhere, and they're throwing garlands and milk on him and stuff like he's a god. And it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. But the theater's loud the whole time. Everyone's like cheering and yelling. But and the movie itself was really over the top, but it was really fun. It was a blast. If you get a chance to go see a Bollywood or Collywood movie, day 1 in India, it's an experience like no other for sure.
Nice. They're in Russia for some reason.
This is a pretty globetrotting movie. It was actually, there's a lot of these movies are all over the top. They're pretty formulaic in general. They last about an hour longer than they usually should. Mostly because there's interjections of like 10-minute songs throughout the thing. And then there's an intermission in India during all movies. So there's like a half-hour intermission in the middle. But this movie was actually pretty good. It held itself back a little bit more than what always is really funny to me in these movies is that like it'll be like some dude who works in an office, but then he like beats up 30 people like and knows martial arts for some reason, you know, and like and can do like crazy stunts that only like Captain America can do, you know what I mean? And there's not usually like a very good explanation for this. In this, he was at least like an anti-terrorism like agent, and it was a pretty good story. I think it was actually pretty entertaining. It was kind of Born Identity-ish, but it's obviously a little more over the top than that. So, yeah. Anyways,
Wow.
but it was trending all over the internet. Like, you know, in this section of the world, it was a huge thing, and this is his last, quote unquote last. He's gonna do more, but he's moving into politics now. He's gonna, like, a lot of actors over there go from being actors and become politicians. So in the movie, there was just tons of propaganda for his campaign, and I was dying laughing because it was just so obvious. But they're like, yeah, fuck yeah. But you know, just like little winks and nods to like policies and shit that he's like promoting. It was funny. But
Boy, oh boy.
yeah, it was a vibe. But it was pretty entertaining for sure. And yeah, like I said, the experience was unique. And then I started. This is random. I started watching Gossip Girl with Aishu because well, she started playing it one day like on the iPad or something, like to go to bed. And I didn't realize that Gossip Girl is just the OC, but in Manhattan, in the Upper East Side, as opposed to in the OC. It's like it's verbatim the exact same story. I don't know which one came first, but it's like literally like a guy from like Brooklyn as opposed to a guy from Chino, like moves to the Upper East Side versus moves to Newport Beach and like hooks up with the super hot girl who's the super rich girl, but she's troubled. And like it's literally the same story, and it's hilarious. But I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Jesus. But you know, I've always promoted like you got to have these dumb shows that you don't necessarily want to watch, but you can get into enough because they're funny. And there's some good like actors in this. The Winter Soldier is in this show. What's his name? Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan? Yeah,
he's in this show. He's like this kind of like he's like a YouTube documentary kid who dropped out of school. God. It's really funny. This is like takes place in 2006 or whatever. Anywho, the Deep from The Boys is in this show. And then the guy from You is like the main character in this show. So.
Oh yeah, I learned that.
Just
I learned that recently.
Great.
There he is, Sebastian Stan.
There he is.
Wow.
A young Stan.
Fucking rich kids.
Fucking rich kids. Yeah. You know what I like about rich kids? Nothing. And then he hits him. That's from the OC. Anyways. So whatever. Gossip Girl. Good stuff.
Nice.
Kind of.
Joy loves that shit.
Hell yeah. You gotta watch those shows sometimes with your girl now and again. It's just funny. Anyways, it's more Sebastian Stan. His character's ridiculous in this show. He like gets one of these other rich kids into like a high stakes poker game and like plays him out of all his money. It's pretty funny. Anyway, whatever.
Nice.
But without further ado, that was a long WYBNOO. We all had lots we've been nerding out on as we caught up over the break. But just wanted to catch up with you guys since we did some vacaying. So I mean, I know we didn't all do vacaying, but I figure even if you weren't in some far off land, some of these might apply to you. So I wanted to go around and what's the best meal or restaurant you ate at since we've seen each other last on the podcast? Jacob, I'm gonna start with you.
I'll just stick with being in Mexico.
Yeah,
we were on a resort that was all inclusive. It wasn't a 5-star, wasn't the best food. The buffet was pretty good, but I will say that on Sunday, which is the last night we were there, they opened their like seafood grill restaurant, and they had some really good tuna carpaccio. That was like
nice.
Good. And they also had this like one dish that was like in a clamshell, and it was a bunch of seafood stuff. That was delicious, but it was weird that they had an Italian restaurant in there in Mexico.
I was going to say they didn't have a fine dining option because usually they do.
I mean, that was the Italian restaurant.
The Italian restaurant was probably the fine dining option.
Yeah.
Because normally those all inclusives will have a fine dining, and then you have to reserve it, and they expect you to dress nice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We had to dress up like not in like beach clothes. But it wasn't great, but they had a cannoli that was pretty good.
Cannoli, man.
But all the
yeah.
other food was like, not great. Not great.
Well, it's all inclusive. What do you expect?
Yeah. I mean, you know, had a lot to drink though. Who's next?
Yeah, that's really what matters. That's really what matters.
Oh yeah.
Miguel, what about you?
I
I mean, you kind of told us about the Belgiums and stuff, but that's more about the drinks.
I'm just gonna say In-N-Out. It's the best meal I've had since I saw you guys last.
What's your order at In-N-Out?
This time I had an animal style burger, a double
There you
with
go.
animal style fries.
That's what you
And I make a Arnold Palmer.
Nice.
Wow, that's almost verbatim my order. Only I do chopped chilies on that shit. On the
I get a side of chilies, I pinch off the ends, and I squeeze the chili juice into each burger bite. That's what I do.
That's cool. That's a
delicious.
tactic. That's a new tactic.
It's very
I like
good.
that. I had a pretty cool experience in India. We went to a nearby state next to Chennai, where my wife's family is from, called Kerala, and it's a super lush, jungly state, super wet, like tropical rainforest vibes. And we stayed on a houseboat that was like traveling through these like backwaters. That's like it's like between this peninsula and the ocean. I pulled up some images, or I sent some of the images in that Slack that are on there. I don't know if we can parse out which ones are which. But so we stayed on this houseboat, but we had personal chefs on the boat itself with us, and they were catching fish right out of the backwaters, which is like brackish ocean water. And so they were catching fish and lobster and stuff like right out, and prawns right out of these backwaters, and then cooking them into like fish curries and like really amazing, authentic like South Indian food right on the boat for us, which was just crazy. It was some of the best Indian food I've ever had. And like you didn't have to worry about its quality because it was being cooked so freshly, you know what I mean? So it was insane. I think there was a fish curry that they made that was like nothing I've ever had. Oh yeah, that's from the movie, the Vijay movie. Oh, that's this is Kerala as we're going through, but this is what I'm talking about. This is some images from the backwaters here. Yeah, it's pretty gorgeous, pretty tropical, paradisey. Yeah, so that's the best meal I had. Yeah, here we go. This is like traveling through, pretty sweet. Oh, that's a resort that we stayed at. Yeah.
Nice.
You had to get there by boat. So it was really cool. Just all these like waterways that connect through. Yeah, good shit.
Zooming
Anyways,
in.
that was my best meal. Oh, look, there's Sydney Sweeney.
What?
I took that photo because not that one. Right there, the black and white one. Nope.
Oh,
there you
this
go.
one?
Yeah, it's Sydney Sweeney. I was like in this. I was in this like
fuck?
roundabout. This is like a big intersection in the city, and I was like, "What? It's Sydney Sweeney. Let's go." So, anyways, yeah, that was my meal. Steven, what about you? You eat anything good while we were gone?
Yeah, I tried Ofalafel, etc., which I put the link in a doc.
I see that.
If you would like to pull that up.
Oh,
Jacob, when
okay.
get a chance.
You guys got to cue me up. Cue me up
I
beforehand.
just barely put it in there. I
watched it happen live.
But yeah, so I had the chicken shawarma wrap, and that was really delicious. And they had like cheese flatbread and like a meat pocket, which is just like a calzone kind of thing, but just beef and like cheese in there, and that's like it. But it's really good. The shawarma, I had never tried shawarma before, so
shawarma
that was new
rules
for me.
Nice, dude.
And it was.
Do you know the Avengers invented shawarma?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't have shawarma without Captain America.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we go.
That's
Sorry,
American
took a
Bass.
while. Okay.
Yeah.
Got a menu?
No, but
See what we got here.
oh, that's it. Oh,
Burgers
that's a
and
big menu.
wraps.
Quite the
Oh,
website.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
Well, I can zoom in.
Ooh, look
Sorta.
at that.
Is this what you ate?
Yeah. Well, I had the chicken one, but yeah, pretty much.
Oh, hold on.
Uh,
There you go. Now we're zooming. It's like the
and
tiniest
the
window.
portions were fucking huge.
Here we go.
The portions are huge. So
Ooh.
they gave me a literal bag full of those fucking fries, like this fucking big, like
Dude, give me those.
like 10 by 10 bag.
Want that.
They were like double deep fried fries, and the fucking sauce was amazing too. Just absolutely everything was top notch there. But yeah, that was the best meal I had.
Nice. Hell yeah. What about drinks? Any special bars or drinks stand out to you? Was drinks popping off in Mexico, Jacob?
They had everything. It was an open bar, or it was all inclusive.
Yeah.
And we gave like $1 per drink as a tip. Chill,
Totally.
whatever at the resort. I did, had the margarita and pina colada. But I had a lot of micheladas out there that were like really delicious.
That's the move.
But I will say that we did go to a nightclub because we were there mostly for my niece's 18th. She turned 18 this year and graduated. And there was a nightclub across the street. And so like they wanted to go to the club. So we went to the club and it was funny. I was wearing like a Hawaiian shirt. It was like ridiculous. But
Classic.
they got 2 bottles, and one of the bottles was a bottle of Patron, right? And no one was really drinking the fucking Patron. And I'm like, we got
Aslan
2
does.
bottles
Oh
here.
no!
We got to finish this bottle. My brother-in-law paid a bunch of money for the shit. So
Yeah.
I just fucking drank 75% of that bottle. I was
I
drinking
fucking knew it.
House the Patron.
house
That's
there,
awesome.
dude. I took like
I mean,
3 shots, and I was drinking 7-Up and tequilas because that's what they had. And then I realized they had like, carbonated water. So then I switched to that. And like
Tequila
we
soda.
finished that fucking bottle, dude. It was crazy, dude. I was so hungover the next day. Yeah,
Patron goes down smooth, but it hits you hard the next day for sure.
yeah. I'll bring up. My sister took like some videos and stuff, so I'll bring that up right now.
Nice.
can
Hell
see.
yeah. But it was pretty fun this time around. So my wife grew up in Chennai, which is a pretty traditional town that didn't have a huge drinking scene until like the last 5 to 7 years. Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah, there's music going along, but I don't. We're not gonna get claimed here.
Yeah, no claiming.
Let's check
been
another one out. Oh, here's us.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been to Puerto Vallarta. It's nice though. Dope.
That's my sister's family, and I'm in theirs too somewhere.
Somewhere along the way.
Oh,
It was very pretty.
We had a great time. Yeah, it was definitely like paradise out there.
Oh yeah,
You know
no
what I
doubt.
mean? But there's us at the club. There I am.
Nice.
See me
Hell
in my
yeah.
shirt on the top right.
Excellent.
I got a picture of my sister all fucking hella hammered, which is really funny.
That's always good.
But yeah, we did paddleboard and stuff. That was crazy. I almost died.
I love paddleboarding. That's great. It's Jacob in the wild.
It
says
is.
Jerry.
Literally.
That's good.
Literally.
But yeah, we Chennai didn't have much of a drinking scene for a long time. It's like, like the culture kind of comes down from Mumbai, and then it takes like 5 or so years for it to trickle down into Chennai, is what everyone says. But this time around, I tasked Aishu with being like, hey, hit up your old friends who still live in Chennai. Like, where do people go out and drink? And it turns out that there's actually like some really cool nightlife. So we found this rooftop bar that had just insane drinks, and there was like a pool up there, and people were in the pool, and there's a view from it. Chennai isn't like a huge metropolis as far as like the buildings being high. It's more of just like an endless city sprawl. Yeah, that's some roads if you want to play that video. That's just like us coming back from that hotel.
It just says share file for some reason. Go away. Oh, now it just says
fine.
mute. We're just gonna leave it there. Okay.
That's fine. Leave it be. But anyways, yeah, this was this really cool bar. It was called like Cooks, I think. Yeah, they had really good drinks, tiki drinks, up drinks, but it was all really unique stuff. Yeah, mute that shit, dude. Awesome. But it was just kind of surprising. I'd never really, other than like some basic beers, I had never really had a drink in Chennai before, so this was pretty cool. We found some good bars. That's the view from our apartment that we were staying at up top, so that was cool. But yeah, there was actually some pretty good bars. We went to this place called the Cycle Gap, which is like a double entendre if you speak the language there. Oh yeah, there's a little dog that hangs out in front. This is us kind of driving back after the bar, like in a little tuk-tuk, as they call them, or a little auto rickshaw there. I was trying to get some good, like, intense traffic, but I couldn't really get any good.
Even still, what's happening there? That's.
Oh, there's no like, everyone just honks. There's no like traffic like lines, no lanes, no traffic signals whatsoever. The only rule is don't hit people, and try as you might to get through the crowd as easy as possible.
Crazy.
It's hectic. It's more hectic than even Thailand, and Thailand is like really intense. So, yeah, I don't know how it works. It's just it's like some sort of like hive mind, beehive type of situation in which you're like, this is just chaos, but somehow everyone is doing the thing they need to be doing.
It's almost like California a little bit sometimes.
Sometimes, but it's crazy to just not obey like lanes or stop signs.
It's worse. It's worse than California.
That's great.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's good. Any other adventures from your Mexico time, Jacob, you want to share?
Yeah, like, like I said, the paddleboarding was crazy. I'll go back to the pictures. In fact, wait, there's this picture of Joy during that time that I took because I thought she looked kind of funny. So there's Joy.
Nice.
Classic.
But yeah, we went we went paddleboarding. Let me pick up the pictures here. You could see us actually doing it. So we paddleboarded 3 hours out to this area, and you can see like that big like rock in the background there. It's like there's these big stones, and apparently that's what Puerto Vallarta was originally named after before some guy came in and like put Vallarta in the name, which was his name because he was like the ruler or whatever the fuck. But this area is like a national park. These like rock structures or whatever, these like naturally formed rock things are like, amazing. They have little like caves inside of them and stuff. And you could take a boat there, if you wanted to. But we took this paddleboarding thing, so we had to paddleboard 3 miles just to get there. That was my niece McKenna, and Brennan's the first one that you see here. But yeah, it was like fucking insane. I tried to stand up while paddleboarding, and it was like impossible. I fell twice, or I fell 3 times. So then I just kept like kneeling down instead. But yeah, you can actually see the rock with like the cave in the background there.
That's cool.
I didn't bring my camera because they had like the bag things, and I left mine behind because I didn't think it was gonna like work well, so I was relying on them for pictures. That's why I pulled their stuff up. But it was incredible. Like when we got there, we had to paddleboard through the actual tunnel thing, which was like really cool. There was like all these like crabs and stuff in there. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, as you can see, like there's the tunnel system there. Yeah, but there's like crabs against the wall, and like once we got to the little area that was roped off, which is right here, we parked the paddleboards, strapped the leg straps to them, and then got off the paddleboard and then snorkeled. But I had these glasses on, so I kept doing this, like taking the glasses off to swim like this, which was hilarious, and then putting on my snorkeling mask so I could sort of see, but I'm like so blind I could barely see the fish. But then I kept looking, and I eventually did see the fish. They're just sort of blurry. But like, yeah, they're like super cool. There's like blue ones and stuff. I think Joy has a picture here somewhere. Or no, she has a video. I don't know if she posted it. But I'll put like the video up on our, somewhere, maybe on our social media, so you guys can check it out. But yeah, it was look at Joy. She looks great.
You can always send stuff to me and I'll post it on Insta.
Yeah. For sure. I'll get those videos and stuff. I don't post. She said she texted me the video. All right. I'll upload it to Slack and show you guys in a little bit here. But I digress.
I don't know if anybody looks good in a snorkeling thing. To be fair,
No,
right?
I don't know.
Not
Yeah.
really. No.
No, but that night before, was the night like we did the club thing like the first night, and then the night after that we drank again. We drank a bunch of tequila again. And so that day I was already like kind of hungover again and like wobbly. So of course I couldn't stand up. So I was like kneeling at, I was like basically sitting on my legs on my knees, right? And then I had fallen down when we walked to the club. So then of course I busted my knee up. So then I kept like getting up on my knees to paddleboard on my knees, but then like getting down because my knee hurt to like sit on my legs, and then my legs would lose circulation. So I get back up on my knees. And so I'm just paddleboarding 3 miles and then swimming for 30 minutes. And then I got to swim back to the paddleboard. I start getting a cramp in my leg. It's not good. I'm like, I'm going to fucking die. I'm not going to make it to the paddleboard. I finally made it back to the paddleboard. I'm getting a cramp again, just trying to get it on the paddleboard. And everyone is already like leaving. And I'm like, I'm staying in Mexico. I'm dying in Mexico. I'm dead. But I eventually got on the paddleboard. And then I had to paddleboard 3 miles back. Almost died. But then Joy just like, she was like going so far, so fast. And I'm like trying to catch up to her. I'm like, I'm going to get you. And then I'm like, just wait up for me so we can be next to each other. And she just looks back and she's like paddleboarding faster. I'm like, motherfucker, wait. I'm like chasing after him. So I'm like stringing myself, like paddleboarding as hard as I can, just like to try and, beat them to the end. But that was like really fun, dude. It was a good time.
So you went drinking the night of the club was before the day of the paddleboard?
That was 2 days before, and then the day after
2 days before.
I did it again. I drank again and got fucked up.
Hair of the deed, as one does in Mexico.
Okay. Yeah, So there's all these videos Joy's sending me, so I'm going to I'm gonna send these to the Slack, and then I'll show you guys. But I'm sure you guys have other stories to say.
You drank a ton and then went paddleboarding.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. I was like dehydrated.
Yeah, probably not the best.
Kind of the move, though. Yeah. I get it.
But I'm alive now. It's fine. I'm good.
Yeah, everyone's there.
You're not in Mexico still.
Nothing like sweating out a bunch of carcinogens as you're doing some good physical activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. India's just like another planet entirely. It's just like so hot and taxing and just a clusterfuck of just sensations. There's just so much noise and 300 motorcycles and tuk-tuks on the road and cows everywhere and cow shit everywhere and just pedestrians just weaving in and out of everything like that, and everyone just lays on their horns the whole time. It's pretty wild. So yeah, even just being a pedestrian is like you're just constantly like ducking and dodging like people coming by and honking at you, and big cows and then feral dogs running around everywhere. It's like it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But
how are the anxiety levels there?
I mean, yeah, you just gotta like let go. It's one of those feelings where like you can clench up, and like certainly on the back of the motorcycle or in the car, like if you watch the road too much, you're like, I'm gonna have a heart attack. I just gotta stop even looking. I'm just gonna pay attention to the people in the car. It was nerve-wracking with the little one, like for me myself, I'm like pretty good at just being like, oh, I don't care, let what happens. But like having that protective nature for my little girl was definitely a tough one this time around. Also, we went there for a couple different like Hindu ceremonies. When they turn a year, we didn't get there when she was exactly a year, but for 18 months or whatever, they shave their heads and then pierce their ears, which was a lot because in the temple they aren't allowed to use like electricity, so that meant they shaved her head with like a straight razor, which is also really, really intense for like a 18-month-old who won't sit still and was really confused as to what was happening. And then, after they shave her head, then we have to like bring her to a hall where there's like a ton of people. There was like 100 people. It was like a party and all family and friends and stuff. And then in front of all them, she has to sit on stage and like there's a 45-minute long puja, like that, like the priest from the temple does and stuff. And then they pierce her ears, and she's just like, what the hell is happening to me today? She was so upset. I felt so bad for her. And then everyone at the hall who like came wants to take pictures with her afterwards. Which of course she wants to do after having her head shaved and her ears pierced.
Right. Of course.
Yeah, this is her rocking out afterwards. This is a couple days later.
Nice.
But she's got her little head shaved and her sunglasses and her ears pierced. So now
Nice.
she looks like one of the other candidates to be the one in the Matrix. You know, like the little Buddha. But she took it
She's
all.
beginning to believe.
Yeah, exactly. she knows there is no spoon. But yeah, she took it all in stride. I was really, really proud of her, and it was a lot, but she grew up a lot on this trip, and she's already been exposed to pretty much the gnarliest traveling I've ever done. So it's like, so yeah, I'm really impressed. But yeah, that was some India stuff.
Tight. I'm gonna share a bunch of pictures.
Please,
and
yeah,
stuff and stuff.
video it out. We're kind of relaying. I like
All
it.
right, let's do it. Hold on, let me just make this go away for a second, and then I will pull it up here. Joy's sending more too, but I'm gonna show you guys what I have so far. So here we go. Here we go.
That's all Carol you're looking at now on the screen. If you're looking at it, and it was so gorgeous. It was like total paradise.
Yeah, it looks really, really nice, dude, for sure.
Oh, these are some good videos. I'm looking at them in the Slack ahead of you. Nice.
There, see, that's the fish that I saw, and they were right next to us, and I could see them without my glasses on, and I was glad that the colors were correct. I was like, I kept seeing movement super far, like underneath the water, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a fish.
It'd be funny if there was like a big ass shark and you just didn't even notice.
Yeah. Joy posted this on her story with like the Jaws music. That was really funny.
That's good.
Just me like swimming by because I was like looking. Oh yeah, see, this is us going through the caves that were really tight. There's a little bit of a haze because it's like in a bag. But see, this is me on my knees. See? That's me
so good.
paddleboarding. It's hilarious. Oh yeah, and then this was our view. I took a few of these here. This was the resort from our view. Our view was really nice because you could see the beach and the resort. Oh, this is my drunk ass sister. Ha! I got her. Here's us at the club.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah, I won't
Space
play too
age.
much of that. It was sick. It was actually pretty sick in there. We were having a good time, drinking. This is my cousin Brody. There's Joy. Don't take a video of me. And then my niece. And there's me.
Yeah.
And then that's when we first arrived. I just always like making dumb faces.
Totally and completely badass.
There's a couple other ones here. Here's a picture I took with Jesse when we finally got to the swim up bar. That was sick. So I had a couple of michas.
Gotta love a swim up bar.
Yeah, for sure. Here's the resort at night. That's the other view of the resort. So yeah, it was cool. It was a cool resort. And then here's another video of me. So it's just having a good time. And then Jessie just drunk off her ass, which is amazing. So one day we'll get her on Odd Valley. You know?
I went to Mexico when I was 18. It was a dangerous time.
Oh yeah, that's how it is. Sweet.
It was bad. It had nothing, no fire, no energy, no nothing.
Well, that's awesome. Like I said, I haven't been to Puerto Vallarta for years and years and years, but that looks nice. Looks like a good time.
Tight.
Hell yeah. Well, either of you who didn't travel have any? I know Miguel, you're about to do some traveling, but any stories to share before we get out of here and do some endorsements?
I do not.
No. No.
Sorry, we had all the fun. We had all the fun.
Yeah, you can tell us your stories when you come back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but that was good. It was good vacay wrap up and catch up for that. It's been too long since we got to sit down together and do all that, so I'm glad we got to check in on
yeah, it's good to see you guys, man. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And tons of gaming shit to come up in the next couple of weeks, so I'm stoked about all that stuff too. But before we get out of here, let's do a quick little endorsements and maybe some stuff. I'll start it off this week just because it's kind of coming off of vacation stuff. But I'm just going to endorse the Rudra houseboats, which was the the company that we did the houseboats in Kerala, just like such a cool experience. They were legitimately like an Airbnb on a boat. There they are right there. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. The bedrooms have like running water, like full bathrooms in them, which is amazing. And then like there's a kitchen on there. Like I said, we opted to have like those personal chefs like come on the boat with us, which was cool. And then there's like a cool like front room that has like air conditioning because it was really hot, you know. And they just like they park the boat at some point and they just kind of anchor out in the middle of the water. And then other times they go and like take you through these back like areas, and they went through like a bird sanctuary. And so yeah, I took so many photos. I'm gonna develop a bunch of them in the next couple of weeks. But it was just insane. It was literally like having a full kitted out Airbnb. There's like a big ass Bluetooth speaker that everyone could connect to. There's like a TV. it was
Damn.
wild.
Sick.
But yeah, the food that they cooked was just unreal, and it was awesome, and pretty inexpensive all in all. So yeah, if you ever find yourself in Kerala, it's a must do experience for sure. So
Sick.
there you go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, go for it.
My wife knew is drink tequila. My brother-in-law said it's the cleanest drunk. You know,
Definitely.
And I will say I have to agree because I drank an entire bottle of Patron, and that's what it took to get hungover. You know what I mean? And I was drinking Sprite, so you know, don't forget tequila exists. Some people get crazy, but you know.
No, I mean, I like to sip on all types of booze casually and stuff, but if I'm like drinking to drink, it's tequila. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like once you become a bartender for longer than like a year's time, you just learn how to drink tequila. It's just what you do. So that's the move.
More of a whiskey guy, but I feel like after Mexico, I mean, like after the first half of the trip, I was like, no more tequila because I drank too much. But I'm ready to drink tequila more regularly now because I feel like I enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah, I love to sip on whiskey. Like whiskey is something that I like actually enjoy drinking. But as far as taking shots or like just drinking to drink, like I said, like tequila, I agree. Good one.
Noise. Who wants to go next?
Noise.
I'm gonna endorse this Oreo Coca-Cola.
Oreo?
Coca-Cola.
What?
Yeah, it's Oreo Coke Zero, and it tastes like vanilla Coke,
Okay.
pretty much.
Oh,
A little bit,
okay.
a little bit sweeter, you know, back hint of like an Oreo taste.
Wow.
But it's what you'd expect: Oreos and Coke, right?
Whoa.
Oh, there's a cookie version?
Well, they made Coke flavored Oreos.
Yeah, it's a zero
Wow.
sugar one. I like Coke Zero better, so.
There you go.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
actually not
seen
bad.
the cookie.
So they got a Coke.
Yeah, I've not seen the cookie either, so that's news to me.
They got a
That's
Coke
crazy.
flavored Oreo and an Oreo flavored Coke. That's fucking weird, man. Nice.
If you're eating them at the same time, do they just become the same?
Do you just taste?
Maybe it's just
It
an
just tastes
Oreo.
like you're eating Oreos and drinking a Coke, which you could just do.
Which you
If you
could
really wanted to.
That's
It's
very
like
true.
it's like when you have hot water and cold water in two different buckets, and you switch your hands and put them into each one. And you can't tell which one is hot and which one's cold.
That's weird. And then you pee your pants.
Yeah, and then later you pee.
And then you pee.
Isn't that the trick?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that's what
yeah. That's the trick.
Oh, that didn't work. The clip didn't work.
I
That's
do
alright.
have Oreos. I have dark chocolate cream Oreos, so those are.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I haven't had an Oreo in a minute. I might have to do that at some point.
Bought the
good.
Oreos, Steven.
What's that? I brought the wrong Oreos.
You bought the wrong Oreos.
Should have got.
I'm
the Coke
assuming
ones.
that those
I shoulda got the
Coca-Cola
Coke
Oreos
ones.
are probably pretty hard to find. So yeah, for sure. I don't think there's been a. You should send those to Mr. Miller. Have him do an Oreo oration. about 'em.
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah.
Good
That's
point.
true.
Good point.
Yeah. Miguel, what's your endorsement?
I am going to endorse going to the airport and buying your tickets if you're flying Spirit or Frontier, because you save money.
Really?
Oh,
Like at the airport?
That's
Yes.
cool.
It is cheaper. It is actually cheaper.
That's interesting. I like that.
So
Now,
yeah.
so you're saying even if you're buying tickets for a later date, go to the airport, buy them.
Yes.
Wow, hacks. I like
That's
that.
trippy.
Do you think it's limited to those two airlines, or is it just?
It's just those two airlines.
Hmm.
They charge you what is it? I think
Big
Spirit, it's like a
service fee.
$23 passenger fee.
Hmm.
It's essentially just a service fee that they tack on to your online purchase. So if you're able to, it's so like Polly Pocket and I do it all the time.
Huh,
we'll drive
huge.
down there. So like for San Diego, we went on last Thursday and we bought tickets at the airport.
Well, the Vegas. Well, I guess I've only ever come from the Strip, but the Vegas airport isn't that far out. It doesn't feel like some cities that would be annoying. Like if you're in New York, getting to any of the three airports, you're like, kill
unless
me.
you live close, like
yeah, if you live in Queens or something,
like,
but yeah.
Dude, our airport's like right in the middle of the city, so it's like
totally fine. Until they build the new airport, and that might be a big deal. That's gonna be annoying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My airport ain't that far out either. It's like a 20-minute drive, so that's chill.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah, those are all very good endorsements. If you know me, I love travel hacks. Like for instance, I am a member of the AARP because you often get discounts on plane tickets if you're a member of the American Association of Retired Peoples.
Wow.
They don't check if you're actually retired or not.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, like I can't get any other benefits. I can't get any other benefits or anything from them, because I'm not actually retired. But like just having an account, like you just have to plug that information in sometimes and you get some discounts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I might have to report you. That seems wrong.
The only issue is that you have to get consistent annoying emails from the AARP all the time.
Excuse me, I'd like to report a fraud.
I have to report you. That's not okay. I'm not okay with that.
Report. He's using it to get benefits. He's not actually retired. Can you believe that?
Retired person. You are not a retired person.
I am tired though, and I'm often tired again, so I am retired.
Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, I'm dead because I'm always fucking dead. I still can't join because I'm not old enough.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight on another Neon Pocket Dimension. It's good to be back. Thanks to everyone in the chat for hanging out, and the subs along the way, the gifted subs. We'd love to see that. If you liked what we do, give us a subscribe on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@neon pocket dimension. More subs on there means more videos get out to more people. Algorithm loves us more. So yeah, give it a like, give us a subscribe. If you're listening to on a podcast service, give us a rating. If it's gonna be 5 stars.
Cinco starzos, please.
And don't worry about it. And then follow us. Wow, follow us on Twitter at NPD Squad. You'll see all of our announcements about all of our channels and when we're doing stuff out there. And then follow Odd Valley Studios also for shows like the Odd Valley Tavern, which is Jacob and Miguel's incredible drinking show, and Joy, who was mentioned earlier. And occasionally we guest on there as well. And then for all things video game centric, Neon Gaming Dimension, that's youtube.com/@neon gaming dimension. And then we stream right here on Twitch in this same channel for that as well.
That boulder. That is a nice
boulder.
There's actually going to be an Odd Valley next week. So if you want to drink, come hang out.
Yeah, you gotta hang out. You gotta have a drink when you're watching along. It's a good time.
A week from
Totally and
next.
completely badass.
And a week from next Friday.
20th.
Yeah, we got to figure out what that's gonna be, but we'll make it something epic. It'll be awesome.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I love coming on that show, but you can only do it so often because it takes it out of you sometimes.
You need a refractory period.
Exactly.
I don't want the drink. He doesn't want the drink.
Well, we'll see you later this week in the NGD feed, and then we'll see you next week with a special guest I think is coming on, and we'll let you know about who that is on Twitter later this week. So NPD Squad is where you want to follow for that. And on behalf of the rest of the crew, my name's Gage. Thanks for hanging out in the little dimension that we call the Neon Pocket Dimension. Say peace, guys.
Bye.
See
Bye, guys.